Okay, so if you ever don't have access to your real book, you can actually get the pages on your HMH site. So if you look on here, right, you'll click on it and you'll go to workshop 4, which is right here. And we're on page 192, and I'm going to read that page for you today. So 192, I hope you copied down the vocabulary and gave me some examples here. As we're reading, you guys are looking for details that... What is our question again? So this is the first question you'll answer. What goes wrong after he lands in the orchard? So underline the most important details on page 192. All right, here is page 192. Please look at page 192. I landed in an orchard alone. An orchard is a place full of trees with some type of fruit, usually apples. I fumbled around on the ground at first. The quick release on the parachute harness didn't work, so I used my trench knife to cut myself free. I had no weapon, and only my trench knife and a canteen. Then another paratrooper from the 82nd Airborne drifted into the orchard. That's how mixed up it was. He wasn't supposed to be there. We started wandering around, and he headed toward what we believed was the coastline, guided partly by looking at the sky and maybe partly by instinct. As we made our way along a road, we ran across other guys from the battalion. I met one guy from my company who had a broken leg. He let me have his Thompson submachine gun since he figured he wouldn't have much use for it. I carried that gun around all night without shooting it. As we neared the coast, we could hear guns being shot. I had met up with Lieutenant Dick Winters. He suggested I go and take a look. I crawled out there on my belly about 50 yards or so and came to a hedgerow. So if you look down, a hedgerow is a row of bushes or trees. Just on the other side of the hedgerow was a trench, which is like, oh, it says it down there, a long ditch in the ground, so it's just a big hole. I could see a couple of Germans feeding ammunition into a piece of artillery. I got the bright idea to jump into the trench to shoot the Germans, but when I pulled the trigger of the Thompson, the gun didn't work. I'd carried that gun around all night, and it didn't work. The German soldiers looked at me and then took off. Then Bill Garnier, maybe, came in behind me, and we started throwing grenades. I threw one and hit and killed a German who was running away. Jeez. Okay, so underlining details that show what went wrong. Obviously, one you could circle right is that his gun didn't work. That's a big one. So I would underline, I carried around that gun all night and it didn't work, right? That went wrong. Some other things that went wrong. He had no weapon up here, right? Just some ideas to give you.